Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Disc Golf Examiner. Today, we're bringing you coverage from the 2021 Ironwood Open out at Moraine State Park in Portersville, PA, just north of Pittsburgh. I'm your host, Bryan Keegan. Joining me today is the tournament director, Matt Rosier. Matt, how's it going?
It's going great, Bryan. Happy to be here.
Yeah, and joining us as well, Brad Schick, who's on the card. Brad, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Bryan.
This has been such a close round. We've seen, it seems like everybody has had the lead at some point. So it's the same way on the chase card. People are coming up. We have Cody Dockrell and some other people on the chase card here doing very well. So going into the back nine, are you paying attention to the score at all, Brad? Are you...
Honestly, I think I looked on hole. I knew that we were all fairly close, and I knew it was kind of come down to this back nine, but there's so much that can happen. But I try not to look at it because it just gets in your head. So it's really tough to try to pay attention with every single hole coming up, and especially holes like this with hole 10 being so difficult. I was just trying to keep my head in the game, and I knew it was close because there were 3 or 4 people tied with me when the round started as well. So going back to the back nine, here we go.
Yeah, this one is a par 4, 570 feet, and you definitely want to push your drive long if you can before it goes uphill and up and to the left.
It's one of my favorites for sure too. It's just such a good placement shot, and then you have to throw such a good second shot. But you see 3s, you see 4s, 5s, 6s. I mean, I've seen a lot of scores. And that's not really where you want to be, where Vinny's at. He's just short and kind of in trouble. And Andy is way short. Big trouble.
Yeah, this will be a struggle to get out. And if he's throwing a hyzer up onto this hillside, every once in a while it catches a roll all the way back down the hill. So,
have you seen this?
I actually, I've played Moraine a bunch. I have not seen that. So
he actually did. Vinny completely yanked this. It went through every single tree, and he got up there for a putt. So we continue to give Vinny a hard time about his good fortunes, but it was just crazy to see. But he did get up there, and poor Andy rolled into a really bad spot. Ryan throws a super upshot.
Yeah, it looks like you're in prime spot here, trying to take that left gap, and came up a little short.
Yeah, it was not a great upshot, and took a pretty funky roll. So just outside circle 1 by 10 feet, I think.
Yeah. And from a knee, he's trying to get up here, and this is significantly uphill. That's a pretty good chance there. Maybe.
I was behind him. That honestly was probably the best he could have done. I mean, it was in such a bad place, and he thought about going through the trees, and I think he made the right decision by just giving himself a chance. But I mean, you're almost thinking there's no way I can get out of here without a bogey. Let's just not make it worse. So here's Ryan for birdie after just a fantastic upshot. Thing flexed back. I don't know what he threw, but it was so overstable that it kind of came back and gave him a chance.
Oh, wow. What a great run. That was definitely outside of circle 1, maybe almost 50 feet it looked like.
Yeah, it was, and it was way uphill, so slow it down and bring it back.
Disc golf examination on this one. Perfect. Right on pro side. Mock X's. That was a great putt.
Good stuff. Andy did not lose 2 to Ryan.
Yeah, looks like right on circle's edge. Another great putt. That was a great save, rolling down to the rough.
Honestly, that was probably the best save I've ever seen. I mean, it was just a really bad drive, and now the basket is looking so small to me that I'm just like, just got big putted twice, I think. I don't know. I was super bummed because my disc was in prime real estate for the drive, and I take a par, and Andy just went through left, right, and par, and I'm just thinking, wow, I did not even gain a stroke on him or Vinny.
Yeah, losing strokes to the leader despite having the best drive.
Right. It's always fun. But just a sick putt by Ryan to snag that birdie and take the lead.
Definitely. Moving on to hole 11, another par 3, 357 feet. Little OB right off the tee pad. That shouldn't come into play unless you hit the first tree. But another low ceiling, and then it slopes uphill, kind of hard to see on camera. Most people are going to be throwing the backhand shot low and hard and trying to skip up to the basket. But once again, if you come up short, that grass is not skipping at all. So.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan just he's backhand roller.
Yeah, Andy said he did this in the first round, and I think he birdied it the first round too. So with a great roller, so just a great shot. Very, very difficult. I'd say the difficulty level on that is about a 9. There's so much that can go wrong, and I guess I got a little bit of a kiss there, but it's still not great and way short. Kind of completely out of position for the birdie.
And looked like Vinny yanked that one a little to the left.
He
stay safe.
He kicked way left and did stay safe. I think his frustration was he did the same thing first round. I think he hit the same tree if I remember correctly, and so he was just like trying to figure out like what are you doing? And he luckily kicked out into a perfect place and gave himself this little par putt. So great recovery. Kicked just far enough out of the woods into the other short tee. Is that the short tee fairway over there?
Yes, that's the blue tees to the left.
Yeah.
So,
never played those.
Pretty standard upshots here. Ryan right on circle's edge, 33 feet, looking for the birdie. Oh, and just off the front.
Thought he made it for sure.
There's actually no birdies this second round on this hole, which I find kind of surprising. Oh no, Vinny. He's kind of fighting the putter this round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's disappointing for him to go ahead and bogey that after a really good upshot and getting far enough over there in the other open gap to just get out of there. So 3's not hurting you. It's just I don't know why that whole play's so difficult, but it just does. Did you say there were no birdies?
Yep, no birdies this second round.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yep, and there were 3 the first round, so playing a little harder the second round. But we're moving on to the second hardest hole this round, hole 12, 678 feet. Hole bends to the left, kind of goes downhill on the drive, and then you need to work your way through all these trees, all the way back here to the C pin. So this is, like I said, the second hardest hole out on the course today.
And it plays every bit of it. I mean, it really is tough. And, over the years, I can't imagine how many trees have actually fallen, and it still plays just so difficult. So this is another one, just like I said on 10 and on 8, these drives are so crucial to be in the exact spot, because if you go a little bit short or a little bit long, you really are so out of position to get the birdie, and you're just kind of scrambling or hoping for par. So this first tee is really just get that low liner and then hope for a big flare skip into the open, just pretty much like that. Not a very great roll there, but that's still a really good shot.
Yeah, he hit the line perfect. Maybe not the best ground action, but looks like you're a little low on this one. Get a big flare.
Little inside, but okay.
Yep. Yeah, you got around the corner, and that's goal number 1. Looks a little too straight. So yeah, Andy's definitely going to be pinched off over there.
I'd say that's the worst miss. Would you agree? Like going long, I feel like there's less opportunity to get back into the fairway.
That's fantastic roller. I don't know. I throw a thumber, so I don't actually mind being over there to the right too much.
But, yeah, Vinny, that was just crazy. He lost his confidence in his sidearm, and he said he was like, "This is all I got." So he executed it perfectly. So,
and that was his Mantis, really beat up Mantis, by the way.
Worked out.
It looked like you weren't even trying to get to the pin, just trying to get.
Yeah,
clean
if that would have
through
been
here.
up about 2 or 3 feet, I think it would have gotten way out there. But I was more worried about the first gap, like 60 feet in front of me, because I've missed that gap and it kicks down to the right about 150 feet, and then
Yeah.
you're just like dead. So, again, you're not going to hurt yourself. The second hardest hole or third hardest hole, like you're not going to hurt yourself with pars at Moraine. That's the thing. Like, take your birdies when you can. Don't get greedy, and see where things shake out. And every once in a while, you're going to get one
Wow.
of these where you just park it.
That
So,
looked pretty confident in his sidearm right there.
and that's what I told him. Exactly, Matt. I said, Bud, you just went away from it and you just pured it. So that was the only shot he had, and he did it. So
Andy almost dunking it, and
yeah,
yeah, that was a little rude roll away.
I just jump putted that. Probably didn't give Bryan time to catch it, but I wanted no part of any roll away. Just take your par. It looks exactly like what Ryan was doing. Just get out. Take your par.
Yeah, this hole played 0.68 over par, so
Wow.
par is good. Vinny with the only birdie in the field this round. There were bogeys, double bogeys, even quite a few triple bogeys out there.
I haven't played a lot with Vinny, but one thing I've noticed, he just doesn't go away.
Ooh.
Like he just lingers around. Like, good save there by Ryan. I think he thought he missed that, but
yeah.
But Vinny, man, he just lingers. That guy just doesn't go away. He just keeps putting it in the basket. So
yeah, still within 3 strokes with plenty of holes to go, and some holes that have some 2-stroke swings on them. So definitely not out of it.
yeah, it's not a bogey that Andy was hoping for. That's kind of a disappointing one, especially with pretty good drive and just that roll away kind of put him in an awkward straddle. So this hole, Matt, I feel like this has to be one of the top 5 hardest holes, right?
Nope, not at all.
Wow.
So this hole is actually playing dead even on par. The same number of birdies and bogeys on this one.
Interesting.
So it's 312 feet, par 3. As you saw through the walkthrough, there is one lane and it is very tight. Yeah, if you hit any of these trees and kick left or right, it's a very tough upshot. So Vinny just a foot to the right and he's down and scrambling for his par.
I'm surprised it played at par. That's really good. I mean, congrats to the field. This is a tough hole. I've seen 2s for sure, and I've seen like 5s. I mean, or 6s. I've seen some big numbers. That actually was perfect.
Yeah, that's the exact play that I'm going for, just throwing it straight, and the hill kind of slopes a little down to the right, and wow, that was a great forehand there for yourself.
Yeah, I was happy with that. It got the last tree and left me about a 40 or 45, but another sweet line. Look at these guys.
Wow. Yeah, with that hillside sloping down to the right, it lands and just kind of skips over towards the basket. It's like Vinny pulling out a thumber or a tomahawk there. I don't see that very often.
Not good.
A little short on the uphill putt. This looks like this is just outside the circle as well, maybe 35 feet. There we go. That's a
dead center too, man. Right off the pole.
Almost the identical putt that he had on hole 11. So looks like he fixed what he did wrong there, and we'll see from the disc golf examination, just absolutely perfect putt.
Well done. That's a good birdie. And what an amazing par. I mean, the guy doesn't go away, I'm telling you.
Yeah, definitely scrambling on that one.
Good stuff, Vin.
It's a little high from just outside the circle.
Very aggressive. I mean, really, like, he committed to it. I always think, like, missing like that, you feel a little bit better, like you gave it a chance. Like my miss, I mean, there's never a chance it could go in. I mean, it needed a tornado to lift it up.
I was going to say there could be a headwind. Yeah, Ryan was actually only one of 2 birdies on this hole. Cody Dockrell was the other one. So
it looks like everyone's just parring it then, mostly.
Yep, 2 birdies, 2 bogeys, and 85% of the field parring it. So on to hole number 14, another hole that has 2 fairways. You can either throw a right-hand backhand hyzer up to the landing zone, or maybe a turnover or a forehand. And then you have to deal with a lot of trees. Depending on where you land, there can be a straight shot right to the basket, or maybe another backhand hyzer. So all depends on where you land on this tee shot. As Ryan goes with a forehand roller here.
And it gets way down there.
Yeah, he's going to be off to the left a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even sure what's over there because I've never been over that side.
Well, I can tell you there are lots of little trees.
Yeah.
I have a predominantly backhand player. I land over there a lot. So it'll be very scrambly for him for sure. Just a little high and just kind of caught that center island of trees.
That island just seems to suck him in, man. It's just such a hard. Andy just ripped that thing and just kind of got knocked down.
And he's pretty far back now, trying to deal with all these trees. There's those 3 trees right there in the middle that you're going just to the right of that you really want to get past on your drive. And that was a great shot just inside the circle. Vinny taking the right gap. Nice skip shot. And he's hanging around.
He just said, "Get lucky," and it went right through. But he threw a great shot there. But we were just like giving him a hard time on every shot. So Andy's still stuck on that left side and just kind of unraveling.
Looks like Ryan made it far enough up that he doesn't have to deal with too many of these trees.
And
just inside of your shot. Very nice.
He's just rolling. Yeah, I mean, he's 3 ahead. I mean, I'm wondering if he's looking at the score.
Oh,
look at this.
Oh no, another roll away.
Yeah.
Man.
Moraine is mean. I mean, it can just it beats you up, lets you think you're getting back in it, and then beats you up again.
Yeah, there aren't too many holes with death putts, but they all seem to have just a little bit of elevation, so it gets on that edge and rolls away. Man, what a great bogey save from outside the circle.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's disappointed to be losing strokes, but kind of want to channel that into your next shot. If you get a nice birdie. Ryan kind of expecting to do the same here. Very nice. Another great putt right on the center.
He is running away with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny because it doesn't feel like he's really doing anything incredible, but he's just putting the disc in the fairway and putting it in good spots and then making the putts when he needs to.
He's made some big putts, and I mean, he missed a couple. I mean, there were a couple putts that definitely were right on line that missed by an inch or two. So this is probably the most beautiful hole in Pennsylvania. Would we agree on this? Or
I mean, I would say in all of disc golf.
That's fair.
Not biased at all, but signature hole out here, hole 15, par 4, 909 feet, looking over beautiful Lake Arthur. Wish we were here a week earlier. That dogwood had some just completely flowers all over it. Looked awesome. And so we're actually playing down to the right pin, which if you've ever seen coverage, probably have never seen it over here in this pin. Something different for the Ironwood.
I was going to say, I think this might be my first time playing it, maybe second, but it's been a long time if I had played it. So you're basically just trying to get one out there about 400 feet into the middle. And Ryan really let this go, and we thought he was OB, and it just got that tall grass enough to hit the hill and stop. So he's safe, luckily. But the wind started to pick up, I feel like, on this backside.
Yeah, especially this hole with the lake out to the right. It's almost always a headwind, and if not a headwind, a right to left. You could just as soon as it gets on that hyzer angle, it picks it up and throws it off to the left. That's prime position.
Vinny tries the route that no one else can really take because, for one, we're not left-handed, and two, we don't throw it 600 feet. So he's just actually playing to go down the hill, and just absolutely, I mean, that's just, if you've never been there, it's hard to describe how far that is. So you see the other group throwing probably their third shot, and he's down there in one. So, and Andy's.
Yeah, that's going to be very
Need
rough.
some help. Need some help. And
no way.
Got it.
Actually, for the PFDO last year, I believe Vinny went out of bounds in that, out of bounds all the way down at the bottom on his drive.
Wow.
So that's just an incredible shot. As Andy's really trusting his disc here.
Pretty good recovery because he's probably, what would you say, 450 to 500 away from the pin. So he's still a long ways out. And
yeah, you can see the headwind turning this over a little bit too much for Ryan. And there is out of bounds down there to the right. And it looks like he threw over top of it. So he will be, oh no, that is out of bounds, isn't it? Is it?
No. Oh, sorry. No, he did not go out of bounds. He went over it and into an area that I've never seen before. And I thought, you know what? This is my chance. Ryan might be OB. He might be in trouble. And I had a perfect shot to try to go, and get the birdie. And the wind just crushed it over and kind of left myself way back. So here's Vinny, lying one, going for his second shot from about probably 275. And just, you can't draw it up any better. Just so good.
And that is such a great weapon to have. Andy kind of scaring the basket. That's a great upshot, especially in this wind to try to throw a little touch putter shot. You as well, just laying up there for the pars.
So we really didn't see where this went, and somehow Andy walked over and looked in there, and about 15 feet in, he goes, "What color did you throw?" And literally found his disc by just, I'm thinking pure luck, honestly. And so Ryan got in there and just threw it backwards and threw it as hard as he could just to get out. He actually threw a provisional on top because we weren't even sure we were going to find it. So luckily we found it, and now he got out and he has a putt for bogey now. So
that great birdie by Vinny. Nate Blake was the only other one to get the birdie on this round. So Vinny's all of a sudden within 2 strokes here as Ryan putts for bogey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, Vinny just seemed like he was struggling so bad. And then, I never even looked at the scorecard. I realized Vinny was probably hanging around. I knew Andy started stumbling a little bit, and but Ryan was still kind of kicking our butts, I felt. So
yeah, on to the other par 5 out here at Moraine, holes number 16, 663 feet. Not a very long par 5, but there in the middle we have this pretty steep uphill. So the main goal is to get over the top in 2. If you can get there in 1, you may even have a shot at eagle here. But lots of trees in the second half of the fairway, so definitely need to work your way through it.
Such an important tee shot.
And that's not going to be great, except that he's still getting lucky, huh? Oh, that kick off to the left?
It kicked way left. I actually loved it when I let it go. Finally, I got it turned, and I usually come up on that right side, and I was like, just throw it and turn it. And man, it took just a really bad kick. So I was so sad about it. That was a fantastic shot by Andy. He's way up there.
That's not bad by Ryan. The left side is tough, but it's cleaned up a little bit. And
yeah,
looks like you at least didn't kick in too far. And wow, that was a great shot.
About as good as I could have hoped for, honestly. I was just trying to get through the first gap and get on top and see what happened. But with
looks like Vinny's going for the pin with a forehand roller.
Might as well. Why not?
But really, as long as you get up to the top in 2, you do still have a chance at birdie. Obviously, the further up you get, the better chance. So looks like Ryan's going with another forehand roller as well. Just kind of spun out a little early.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell if he overturned it or if he actually hit something. I think he just kind of overturned that one. And his sidearm roller game is on point. Like, he threw some really good ones. And Andy said the first round he threw some where it's just like wow. So we're all just trying to fight our way through this fairway. It is tough.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan's actually looking up that right side fairway, which is the most open, and he turned it over a little bit. It's the pine trees, so he's got a ways to go there to save par now. Wow, that just held the. What disc are you throwing there, Brad?
That's just a Buzz or a Buzz Flex FLX Buzz. It's so straight.
That was a great turnover shot on the forehand.
Yeah, I started to see another opportunity. I was like, okay, if I can get up and down, or Ryan takes a bogey, I get a birdie. Like, I'm getting one closer. It was the first time on the hole before where he really opened the door at all. So I think everyone, Vinny and I were both kind of looking at each other like, oh my gosh, he made a mistake. Like, he's human. So Andy is kind of buried over here.
Oh, that looked like a great out.
Yeah, he just cured it.
There's a little drop off behind the basket, so as you want to end up short, but not too short to have a death putt. It looks like Ryan, he sends it long and gets rolling down the hill, so that'll be a really tough par save now.
Yeah, I had the same thing happen the first round, so I was very intentional on trying to leave it short. But again, you don't want to leave it too short because then you're looking at the death putt, so it's kind of, you're better to miss left or right, honestly.
Yeah. And you can see that putt coming into play with Vinny's thinking. He was right on circle's edge and made sure to leave it short instead of sailing over the top. And this will be another uphill outside of the circle putt, or maybe just inside of the circle for Ryan. He's made a couple of these this round. Just off to the right. So if you birdie, you're making up 2 strokes on him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. And Andy knows it too. So Andy's like, okay, I can get back in this thing too now. It's just really the first time Ryan had opened the door for anyone. He was just 2 or 3 ahead, most of the second half of the round. And, I think everyone knows Moraine can take him away just as fast as you get him, but he really was kind of flawless and just kind of running through with no pressure. So
yeah, this is a big putt here just to stop the bleeding. That's good.
And it was still 20, 23, 24 feet. It was still a little bit of a tester when you just missed a couple previously. And so that was a good save for sure.
A great birdie by yourself. Ties it up top. Obviously, Vinny really wanted the birdie there to make it a 3-way tie on this lead card, but we'll have to see what he can do on later holes.
And I do have to say that Cody Dockrell and Tony Mo Rice are catching up on the chase card.
Yeah, it's a battle with this chase card and the live scoring. Everybody's kind of looking at the scores, seeing what's going on, and this is a nail biter here for sure with these last couple holes. So this hole 17, 315 feet. Once again, a pretty low ceiling and a left to right turning shot. See a lot of forehands. Turnover shot, I think, is a really technical shot. There's those trees on the left that Andy hit.
It's a tough hole.
Yeah, I prefer to throw a really flippy roller just to get to the right. So a lot of options to get to the basket. We'll see if any work out.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh. We thought he was about to ace it. I mean, when he let that go, I said, well, it's tied now for sure because he's pinned. So we didn't realize how he got so far back there.
No. And that's the problem with trying to take that right gap.
Yeah, this is trouble. I mean, he's in a really bad spot with the right pin being tucked around this corner, so now he's got to try another cut roller.
Oh, and just threw it a little high. And so he's going to be taking a bogey at best and probably losing the lead here, it looks like. And to be right on circle's edge.
Not his greatest shot there either. It's like starting to pile on now all of a sudden on poor Ryan. He was getting through so easy on this course, and then again, it just, like I said, it could just beat you up in a hurry.
Yep. I think Andy has to make this to have any hope at all here to get the win. Ah, great putt.
Just such a good putter. I mean, he hit that rough spurt in the middle, and he just fights right back. I mean, such a good putt. This is for Ryan's bogey, I believe, so he's really... Man.
Just a little low right. He's going to need some magic here on hole 18 to be able to keep pace then.
Vinny to tie it up. Ooh.
A little high.
He wasn't short.
Yep, gave it a chance.
Remember, everyone, you have to get it there. Good save there. That was a little bit of a scary comeback after the old airmail.
Yeah, somehow those 20-footers always feel a little harder when they're for par instead of birdie.
And Ryan is just probably soul searching now. He just went bogey, bogey, double bogey, and was 3 strokes ahead. And now he's 2 strokes back. So just kind of just wondering what in the world. So let's talk about 18, Matt.
Hole 18, par 4, 602 feet. So this tournament, trying out something new. If you watched the PFDO last year, you played it as a par 3 and short. And for the Ironwood, decided to try it out here in the field. Try to make this a pretty tough par 4. There is OB about third of the way through the hole. Looks like you're just laying up here and pretty much conceding for a 4, right?
I was trying to lay up, and I did it so poorly. It was just probably the worst layup you could probably throw. So, yeah, I was just trying to be smart. I can clear it if I throw it perfectly, but it's just I have to throw it so hard. It's just not a comfortable shot. So I just opt to take the 4 and move on, honestly. So these guys throw so much further than me. But when you throw that hard, you bring in a lot of other trouble. So Vinny kicked a mile left.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's in bounds, maybe he can throw back over to the middle of the fairway and throw up. The real goal of this hole was to make sure that if you want the birdie, you're going to need to get over and be in good position. Mm-hmm. Only 600 feet, you could throw 3 200-foot shots and take a par in theory.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I knew at this point I did look at the scores, and I knew Vinny was at 8 down, and I knew that Tony Mo Rice was at 8 down, and I knew that Tony, I was watching him putt out, so I knew he got a par, and I also realized I was kind of watching him on hole 1, and I thought I was pretty sure that he birdied it, so I said, you know what, I have to get up and down on this next shot, and my second shot was really bad. Here's Andy and Ryan both went OB off the tee, so there's a new drop zone that Matt tried out. I think it was much needed, and I think the players really liked it. So
yeah, this is 375 feet to the pin, so you can still try to save your par from there.
I think it's a good spot. So I wanted to go through the middle, but I knew if I hit one of those trees and went OB, that then I could potentially lose the tournament. So my hope was to give myself a 40 or 45 footer to try to get the par and maybe just seal up the win. So Vinny has to par to have any chance, right? So he's giving himself the little 30-foot circle's edge putt.
I don't know if Vinny looks at the scores. Do you know if he was checking to see if he needed that putt or not? Was he?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think Bryan was probably filling him in.
Yeah, I like this pin out here with you can put the whole gallery out here and watch it. So I think we'll see this return for the PFDO later this year. Andy tries to go out in style and it's a little short.
He made it. Yeah, I thought he made it. I mean, what a comeback he had, though. So this is for the par.
And for the win.
Not aggressive. Yeah, I was pretty sure I just lost because I saw Tony holding up 2 fingers, and I thought, well, if he 2'd it, then he went to 9, and I'm going to drop back to 8 with Vinny. And I was wrong. He was saying 2 because Tyler 2'd the hole. so I walked over and I said, "Did you 2 that?" He was like, "No." I go, "I just saw you holding up 2 fingers." And Tyler said he was asking me if I got a 2. So funny enough, we ended up tying with Vinny and Tony.
And Cody Dockrell, who actually...
Cody.
So yep. Cody birdied hole 18, and then he finished on hole 1, and he had a parring hole 1. So he had a shot along with Tony to birdie hole 1 and win it, and neither of them did. So we're going to a 4-player playoff. So this will be exciting for sure.
I don't think I've ever seen a 4-way playoff. So we went by score, I believe, and I think the hot score that round, I believe. So Tony was up first.
Yep.
Tony's from Dayton, the Dayton area in Ohio. Threw a really good shot there, just a little off the back, right where the kind of the mucky stuff was at.
Yeah, maybe circle's edge off the back here. This looks like a really good shot by Cody. Hoping it doesn't skip too much. Yeah, that's
very
really nice. So do you get nervous in these types of situations still?
You know what? I think I'm embarrassed to say I was still so bummed that I just bogeyed the last hole because I'm like, this shouldn't even be here. But the stupid thing is everyone can say that. Like Tony could say, if I would have just birdied hole 1, or if Cody said I would have birdied hole 2, like everyone can say that. So it's I just kind of need to let it go. But I knew I had to just get off and birdie hole 1, or it was over, because Cody was pretty much parked, and I thought Tony was way up there, and was kind of surprised to see Tony that far back. But still, he's such a good putter.
Oh, just off the front. So,
yeah.
Yeah, tough footing back there. And what a great catch by the Mach X there.
Yeah, it was.
He has that hyzer putt, so he hit pro side, and he is sticking around. Himself in with a birdie, and expect Cody to clean up here as well. And he should be sticking around, and we'll move on to hole 2 with 3 players still in the playoff. So the layout for the playoffs are hole 1, 2, then we move over to 13 and 18.
It's a good little circle. A lot of stuff can happen. So,
yeah. A little low from Cody, and there's a kind of a wet spot there, but he should still be fine. He's still in the middle. Looks like you corrected off of the second round there, and a good free pick.
And some love to boot, so.
And Vinny doesn't like it out of his hand, it looked like.
Yeah, he kind of did the same thing. It missed every tree, and it's perfect.
Yeah, he's almost jump putting from there. He may be 60, 75 feet out.
Yeah, he like to say it was a good miss.
Yeah. Nice little gallery that we had following around, too, as we wait to see who wins this. Get over the OB, and great shot by Cody.
Tough throwing out of that murky, like mush, whatever it is. I don't even know. It's like a marsh.
I thought you might be giving that a little run with it being so far uphill. Tried to end it in style.
Yeah, not so much.
I have a feeling the Vinny may be giving it a little soft run. He just threw that drive so far.
Mm-hmm.
No, it just looks like a little forehand. Oh, wow. A great shot.
I gotta say, we watched Cody win the Bud Carroll Billiards Open a couple weeks ago, and it's great to see him in the playoffs of this one too. Brad, we often see you and Vinny as well on these higher staked rounds.
Yeah, Cody's a great player. He's been playing a long time, and he's tough. He's got some mad putting skills. When he's on, it is fun to watch. So, and that is fantastic. I was like, well, there's a 24-footer. So I was hoping to just correct from the first round, throw the same shot, and got around that last tree, but kind of took a big flare skip. So I knew I was probably circle's edge or maybe a little closer, but Vinny threw almost the identical shot as he did during the round, just about 20 minutes before. So
he's trying to run this, knowing that both of you guys are up there in the circle for putts for birdie.
Cody's probably like 22 feet or so. I knew, this was a must make or it's over. So I was glad to knock that one down. And unfortunately for Vinny, his 9 lives are up. So
he did give it a great run though, being 4 back. Oh, Cody just over the rim.
Great putt.
So moving on back to hole 18.
All the pressure.
So once again, interesting that Cody birdied it and you bogeyed this during the last round. So
yeah,
I'm sure Cody's thinking about getting the birdie.
Yeah, I was not looking forward to this because I did par at the first round, but it was just like not really a great shot. And Cody absolutely laced that thing and hit the last tree, and it appeared that he was OB, but we wasn't really sure. So I still just kind of stuck to my game plan, but actually corrected it and didn't overturn it. So
you're actually almost skipping over the OB, but
yeah, I got it. I think it was a little bit of adrenaline. I just kind of popped it a little more than normal. But Cody was OB, and now he's throwing 3 from the drop from about 375. You said something like that.
Yeah, 375 out to the pin. Still has to have a little turnover for any chance at getting the par. Just needs to get lucky through these trees. At least he kicks out into the middle. If you're up there for a par, you can still give that a run. You're still just playing safe right down the middle.
That was not.
That was a little too safe.
Yeah, not good. Not good. I was kind of straddled out, and I said, okay, well, I got over the creek. I got over the OB, but now I left myself like 235 or 240. And I'm just like, okay, just try to get close.
And that looks pretty close to me.
Yeah, it was a good feeling just to get up and down. Cody's got to throw this in.
Yeah. Sure he's going to give it a good bid. Or a little short
layup. Hey, I've missed shorter putts, so he's probably just...
Yeah. And there you go for the win.
Yeah. What a fun... That was stressful.
That is great for the gallery as Bryan pans along here, and that was a great show. So congratulations, Brad, on the win.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you running the tournament, and Bryan and the Disc Golf Examiner crew. You guys, you crushed it, man. It was great. 3 cameras at times. I mean, good stuff.
Yeah, we were trying to do a lot more today, trying to test out some new stuff. And it was great to have a gallery, man. It's been so long.
I know.
You know, it's glad things are getting back to normal. You know, always had a ton of fun covering disc golf, and especially with the large groups. I want to thank both of you for doing commentary today. Brad, congratulations on your win.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
And Matt, that's going to do it for us. Is there anything you'd like to say, anything you'd like to plug or anything, either one of you?
I just want to give a huge thanks to everyone that did come out, and obviously all the volunteers that we had out there getting the course ready, and my assistant tournament director, Dustin Schrock, out there helping me out as I played.
Good stuff. Yeah, I just want to say big thanks to Discraft as always for their support, and as Matt said, the supporters and the gallery and the spotters and all that. I mean, it all makes it run smoothly. So it's good tournament, and great job on the weather, Matt Rosier. You did good, buddy.
I've played the last 2 years and it hasn't snowed, so I don't know what anybody complains about.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us here at Disc Golf Examiner. Until next time, guys, keep banging those chains.